As it's 7 p.m. and it will call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Here.
Mr. Putoff.
Here.
Mr. Sextro.
Here.
Mr. Schaefer.
Here.
Ms. McDaniel. Here. Mr. Albrecht.
Here.
The first thing we have tonight is a proclamation for Councilman Schaefer, who is leaving as of the first of the year, courtesy of term limits.
Actually, December 1st is when the new council.
Oh, that's right, December 1st.
Right.
When the new council gets sworn in. Right. So if you will step down in front with me,
Okay.
we have a proclamation for you. Proclamation of appreciation to Christian J. Schaefer for his many years of dedicated service to the village of Evendale. I mean, many years. Whereas Chris Schaefer was first appointed to the Planning Commission in 1979, served as village solicitor for 13 years, and was elected to the Evendale Council 6 times, served the village in these capacity for all but 3 of the last 42 years. Whereas Chris Schaefer conscientiously and ably served the village of Evendale as a member of the village council, solicitor, planning commission, community improvement corporation, and various council committees, thereby setting an outstanding example of good citizenship and concern for the well-being of his community. And whereas Chris Schaefer, his leadership and support were instrumental in many projects, including reorganizing and reconstructing and widening Reading Road with landscaping islands, establishing sidewalks and curbs on Reading Road, Glendale Milford Road, Cooper Road, and sidewalks on Rice Garden, and in assisting in writing the first enacted revision of Evendale zoning code since 1951, and planning the Cooper Creek, Cooper Hills, Carpenter's Creek, Carpenter's View, Indian Woods, Park Hills, and Sanders Place subdivision, and preserving the hillside green spaces facing Reading Road and the tract of land along Moeller and Cooper Road, and negotiating the Gorman Heritage Farm Agreement with the Cincinnati Nature Center, and expanding the Evendale Community Center, also the building of the new administration and police building, and expanding the fire department building, and buying and demolishing the outdated hotels on Reading Road, and renovating the shelter house and building a second picnic shelter, and creating the Cultural Arts Commission, renovating the Okay, now we will go to ordinance 21-72, and I need permission to read it by title only.
Moved.
Second.
Ordinance promoting fire,
Mr. Albrecht.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
ordinance promoting firefighter, paramedic, Inspector Joshua R. Esbrock to Lieutenant-Paramedic of the Evendale Fire Department and declaring it as an emergency. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third readings of this ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
Now may I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Putoff.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 21-72 adopted as an emergency, and we will proceed to swear in the new lieutenant. Please raise your right hand. I, Joshua A. Esbrock.
I, Joshua R. Esbrock.
Do solemnly swear, is it on?
I think I went off the,
You have too many other Asbrocks.
yeah.
Joshua R. Do solemnly swear that I will support and obey the Constitution of the United States of America,
I, Joshua R. Esbrock, do solemnly swear that I will support and obey the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
and I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the village of Evendale, Ohio,
and that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and the ordinances of the village of Evendale, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of fire lieutenant/paramedic to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of fire lieutenant paramedic to the best of my ability. Thank you very much.
I always just sign for you just to be there.
Keep standing. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Are there any members of your family you'd like to introduce? Unfamiliar faces?
My wife Shannon is even with us. Maybe we'll go this way. Our children, Catherine and Robert, and my wife's parents, Regina and Steve, and then my parents, Steve and Mary Beth, and my siblings, Emily and Ben, and lots of coworkers and friends here. All that's going up.
Very good. I think the chief has something.
So in our tradition,
Okay, now we'll go to the committees. And the first committee is, gee, it's clearing out. Nobody wants to stay for the fun. Oh, thank you. The first issue is the minutes of the last council meeting. They have previously been distributed. Is there any additions, corrections, or changes? If not, could I have a motion that they be accepted?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Albrecht,
Yes.
Mr. Sextro,
Yes.
Mr. Putoff,
Yes.
Smiley Robertson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer, Ms. McDaniel.
Yes.
Okay, now we will go to the committee reports, and we'll go to Finance Committee first.
Mayor, October, a little bit slower than we'd like to see. It was down $93,000 over October of last year, which of course was lower than the preceding year. Much slower than what we like. October expenditures did exceed receipts, however, by about $163,000. So although receipts were down, we were still able to stay in the black on that issue. Year-to-date receipts still exceed expenditures by about $457,000. Year-to-date, we are down year over year about $960,000. So things are, well, hopefully next year will pick up. However, it's unlikely that we're going to hit our $14,400,000 budget unless something unexpected happens. Also on finance, we will be extending the contract with Chase Bank in order to just ease that process. We'll be staying with them for another couple years. The Gorman Farm visitorship this year is about 5,000 guests year to date, almost twice or more than twice as much as what had been some of the years prior, so it's very significant. Increase. Turkeys are sold out for those people who are hoping to get one at this late date. They are sold out. However, frozen chickens and eggs are still available at the farm shop. By year end, at least 4,766 people who have served by our education programs. That's the schools, the camps, the various programs they have. And also a reminder that the farm will be closed November 25th through the 27th. So they will be closed with no visitation. Also, we will have a new interim director. Nicole Gunderman will be stepping in. The existing Tricia Watts will be stepping down to take a position at the Newport Aquarium. Service Department, the sweeper that has been long needed the replacement has been delivered and has been placed into service. Over 2,200 or 22,000 leaf bags have been distributed to 360 households. We're seeing those at the streets now. Hopefully, everybody got what they needed. The Through the Valley, the project, obviously the lanes are all in there. We're just working on the punch list on a few minor items. Still to fully complete that project. We have seen the completion of the Duke pipeline. Finally, we see the end result. It's important to note that this was a difficult process because nobody wanted the pipeline going through the middle of Evendale. We fought it hard, but in the end, it wasn't our final say. So what we were able to, if we're making a little bit of lemonade out of lemons, is that the repavement of Reading Road saved us over $700,000. Glendale Milford. And so a little positive spin on an otherwise negative process. The Reading Road Bridge, they're nearing the end. If they're not there, are they finished with that? but that should be very soon that they'll have that completed. That's down at the south end at the Reading border. That bridge has been under construction for some time now. The Recreation Department, the indoor spa reopened October 21st. I know everybody's been waiting for that. 29 members from Phi volunteered at the Halloween Fest, another great turnout, a beautiful night. Josh Valentine's boys wings team won first place in the Cincinnati Central Say Soccer League. Congrats to them. And this Thursday, the Veterans Program, and that is that 5 o'clock, Mayor?
Yes, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, the Veterans Program will be held for all of our veterans.
And you don't necessarily have to be a veteran to attend the program.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments to Mr. Albrecht? Okay, we will go to the fire and police.
Okay. Let me first start with the fire. Hydrants are being in the process of being painted. Thus far, over 60 have been done. There are 400 that need to be painted. Let me give some COVID, just a general update. Last month, we talked about cases through September when things were high. We were up at 7,500 cases, and these figures are as of October 26th. We're down to 5,600 cases. So we seem to be going in the right direction. The positivity rate, which was 9.2 in September, was down to 6.2. So things seem to be headed in the right direction. We've had a couple of COVID vaccine clinics last week and today. Is there one more, or am I getting confused?
There was one last week, yesterday, and today.
Yesterday and today. So we've had all three already, okay. So that's kind of where we are as far as COVID is concerned. Medicare is going to be conducting an audit of all ground transportation organizations, public and private. The audit will take over, you have to participate for 3 years, and we are participating probably like other organizations because your reimbursement gets cut if you don't participate as part of this audit. I mentioned last month about we were going to need to change software, or ESO is the company that's buying out our current company, and they've agreed to continue at that rate for a few years. So that's the option that we're going with, is ESO. And we will be discussing in December some proposed adjustments to comp time, because a lot more comp time has been accumulated than our current guidelines were designed to handle. So that'll be on our agenda for October. In the police, Officer Trailer Tran did a public service announcement with Pamela Goins and her son regarding autism. So just want to make everyone aware of that. This is No Shave November for the department, so it's not like everybody got together and decided this is for a charity, so it's being done this month. The protest at GE that was with the Rise Up Northern Kentucky went well. There were like 150 to 200 people. There weren't any major incidents at all that happened, so that went okay. And both the police chief and the fire chief are going to be working together on a modification to our policy regarding tattoos. We need to do this because our pool for hiring new people into the department could be affected by our current policy, so they're working on that. Cultural arts, the juried photo exhibit has been so successful, it's extending through November, through Thanksgiving at least, as long as all the pictures hold up well. It's been well received. which is why we're extending it. I can report that wine tasting is the 13th, is Saturday, and it is not sold out. So here's your opportunity. Pre-registration is required, so you need to contact a cultural arts director for that. Art Ventures, which is the 12th, which is Friday, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be at Spring Grove Cemetery and Arboretum at 10 a.m. There's still spaces available for that? Okay, and they have a Flags of Honor display in honor of Veterans Day going on for the Art Venture. We had our first wedding at the Bell Tower Pavilion, and they loved the facility. They followed that with a reception at the Rec Center, so that's a new avenue, a new opportunity that's presented itself for the village. The October play of Four Old Broads was a success, but it did point out to us that we need to investigate and publish how the plays are rated, so people know that in advance of buying tickets. So we will be doing that going forward. There was a meeting about the elevator, and the estimates are coming in around $1 million, which doesn't include engineering designs. The proposal is to have an exterior elevator. We've been allocated funds from various grants that total $250,000. So there's going to be a fundraising drive that'll take place, and we're also going to continue to try to apply to the state of Ohio to try to get some additional funding there. And I think that's cultural arts. Building, planning, and zoning. We had a couple of new businesses come on board. I don't know, Mayor, were you going to speak about that in your report?
I've got the driving range. That's the only one I have.
Okay. I had Bond Audio and Rivertown Inquiry are the names of the businesses. Are you going to speak about Homer's, too?
What?
Homer's demolition?
Homer's is gone.
Gone. I drove past it on the way here. It's nothing but rubble right now. Also, there was, for the Board of Zoning Appeals, there was a hearing on both turning down their application for a sign and requesting a variance for it. So the company was not successful in that, and unless this is changed, it's going to be appealed to council, so just making council aware of that. And I think that's it. Any questions?
Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to add something regarding the Griffin Family Nature Preserve.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I meant to yield to you.
This Saturday is our monthly volunteer day at the Griffin Family Nature Preserve. The time is between 8 and noon. I need to talk to Chris to see if we're going to be doing the same type of work, or if we're going to redirect down to the entrance next to the parking lot and try to do that garden because of the timing of the spray. We didn't want it, we wanted that to have a chance to do its job.
You had it sprayed to eliminate the invasive species.
Right. So, anyway, whoever wants to come help us out, we're going to have work to do.
I'm sorry, I did forget one thing. The Cultural Arts Commission, you see an ordinance on the agenda. There's a need to increase the membership on that commission, and that's why that ordinance is on the agenda.
Any other comments? Okay, I just have a few things. I had Homer's. Everybody now wants to know what's going in there. I don't know what's going in there, but at least it's not there. So we'll have to wait and see. We had an after Halloween party meeting of the Safety Committee this month, and we went over analysis of what went on at the party. We used this as a precursor to the 4th of July. They had 840 people, I think, at the Halloween party, but at 4th of July, we have over 5,000 people. So we used that as a trial run, so to speak, of what's there. The one thing that came out of that is we've decided to buy a drone can be up in the air and look down on us, big bird in the sky, I guess, as to what's going on and maybe provide a little more safety situation. Veterans Day, you're all welcome to come to that. It's $3 for non-veterans. Veterans are free. Woody Woodward turns 102 tomorrow. I think he's the oldest resident in the village of Evendale. He was down here on Election Day, and he will be there on November 11th also, because he is a veteran of the Second World War. I'd like to congratulate our 2 council persons that were reelected, as well as Steve Burke is here tonight as the third one, is the new council member who will take Mr. Schaefer's place on December the 1st. So I congratulate you on what went on there. Last thing. We were going over with the village clerk next year's agenda. And we looked at, if you remember last year, we held our March council meeting by Zoom. And I did it while I was in Florida. I may like to be in Florida then again, but we can't hold the council meeting by Zoom anymore because the law has changed. So I'm wondering if you would consider moving it from March the 8th to March the 15th. And also, if anybody else has any dates that conflict or so forth that they know of, this would be a good time to let us know, and we can perhaps accommodate you.
I'll let you know, I don't have my schedule. I know we're going to be gone maybe it's at least the first week of April. I don't know the timing of it exactly.
Well, look it up.
I'll have to check with my
And
social director.
we'll be putting the schedule together, and we can see. But 15th, does that sound okay to everybody?
Sounds all right.
I hope it's warm.
This much in advance, I think that shouldn't be a problem.
And that's all I have. Any comments, questions? Okay, let's go to the ordinances then. Ordinance 2173 is on the agenda. I would like permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise for option year 2022, 2023, contained in the contract with Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated for waste collection and recycling services authorized by ordinances 18-76 and declaring it as an emergency. I think they've provided good service to the village of Evendale, and there's really not much competition out there, to tell you the truth. Not much competition out there. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes. May I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes. And now declare ordinance 21-73 adopted as an emergency. Next, we have 21-74. I seek permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute and convey a utility easement to Duke Energy, Ohio, for Aero Hub and declaring it as an emergency. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
May I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 21-74 adopted as an emergency. Next is 21-75 ordinance, and I ask for permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
An ordinance agreeing to the extension of the contract with J.P. Morgan Chase Bank N.A. to provide banking and depository services for the village of Evendale and authorizing the mayor to execute any documents necessary to accomplish that and declaring it an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Now may I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 21-75 adopted as an emergency. Now we have ordinance 21-76, and I ask consent to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ordinance amending section 288.02, defining the membership of the Cultural Arts Commission and declaring it as an emergency. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Now may I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 21-76 adopted as an emergency. Next is ordinance 21-78, and I'd like consent to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into agreements with Anthem and Super Dental Care to provide comprehensive health insurance and dental benefits to full-time village employees and declare it as an emergency. Are you all familiar? I think we had a good explanation of that the other night. If you are, I need a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Now I'd like a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
And now declare ordinance 21-78 adopted as an emergency.
Mayor, even though we've all discussed it, I think it would be important for the people who weren't in the committee meeting to know that the medical expenses represented an 11% increase to the village after much work on the part of the Employee Hurt Committee and working with the providers to get a plan that kept the expenses down to that point, because that's less than half of what we were initially quoted for that for medical.
You might want to mention what the HERT committee consists of.
The HERT Committee consists of a representative of every department in the village, an employee from every department. And this committee has been in existence for about 20 years now, is that where, I think?
15, 18 years.
15 to 18 years, and has been worked with council and mayor as, in partnership really, to try to come up with a plan that works for the employees and their families, as well as helps the village keep some kind of control around the cost of medical and dental and et cetera expenses. And it's because people have really bought into the wellness component of that that has helped us maintain lower medical rates throughout the year. And we really appreciate the efforts of the HERT committee and employees as a whole. We do offer incentives in terms of our HSA for how much you participate in some of these things. So, you know, again, this came in much lower than the initial estimates that we heard, and it is not the same plan that we had last year, but this committee came together and recommended to us that this was the plan to go with. So.
I think the HERT committee is very important because it involves the employees of the village. And under this plan, it is going to cost the employees more. But we try to do the best we can for our employees to keep them healthy and take care of their medical costs. And I think our employees appreciate the HERT committee and the things that they do. It's been very helpful to the village of Evendale. Anything else to come before council tonight?
Mayor, I hadn't heard about the Chamber of Commerce Christmas. Is that going to occur this year? Have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything yet.
I know we moved it from St.
Mr.
Rita's.
Elmer, have you heard anything?
It's my understanding that the date for the event, I think there was some back and forth on to whether or not it was going to be December 9th or December 15th. I think it's December 15th, but I'll confirm and make sure that that's communicated to all of you. We also need to select the award recipients as we have in the past. So I'll be working with Mayor Finan on that here in the next week or so.
You did say December 15th?
I believe it's December 15th. I'll confirm that in email, communicate that to everyone.
Very good.
Dave, that's the communication that Neil and I had from Nancy today. Okay, good. It is the 15th.
Okay, so it's confirmed.
And that's going to be here again?
I think it'll be in the rec center, I imagine. Chief, do you have something?
I do. I just want to add that I want to thank the village for hosting the COVID booster and vaccination clinic over those 3 days. The rec department did a phenomenal job setting up and cleaning the room and working with Hampton County Public Health, and we held the last day today at the firehouse. Each day they helped over 80 people, so if my math is correct, that's almost 250 shots that were given to people age 5 and over. So we may run it again because we had such a good success. So I want to thank
You know,
council.
I got my third shot out of that, and my wife did too. She suffered the consequences. She couldn't raise her arm for 2.5 days because of it. but it's all in the good health procedures. So, good to have. Anything else? Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Second.
I was going to let you do it.
Say, Chris, don't you want
I
to?
was going to let Chris do it.
Yeah, you can make a motion.
Well, I always used to laugh at that because, all they want to do is pursue adjournment.
Well, you want to
Would
pursue
you like? Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Thank you.
adjourn.